Hey, honey, I just got a text messages from Bryan on my iPod.
What's that?
My son, Bryan, he sent me a sex message.
Your son is a sexy Mexican?
No, dear, a message. He sent me a message.
No, I'm fine. I don't want a massage. It bothers my sciatica.
Okay, honey. Bryan, my son, you know him. He has a show on the radio in the internet.
He found a labia on the internet? Well, I guess that's not hard to do on the internet. In my day, you had to masturbate to a corset section of the Sears Tractor catalog.
What?
I'll tell you what's doing. Give me a size 31 and a pair of garter belts, and I'll show you a turtle out of the shell.
No, dear, the radio.
No, I don't want tacos. It gives me gas.
He says we get the show by downloader. Do you know how to get a downloader?
I don't know. I think you have to call the Google, and then you send in an application.
Oh.
Then you fill out that application, then they approve you, and you put it on the radio in your iPad.
It sounds complicated.
Then you fill out that application, then they approve you, and you put it on the radio box on your iPod.
Oh, look, Dumpling. He gave me a hot link.
Like the Coney Island dog?
I think you click it. Okay, now press here and then...
No,
look.
I haven't masturbated
I think I found
since
it.
93.
It's
I
in
can't
my
seem to give it
phone.
up. It's just, I'll
Okay,
tell you
let's
what,
see
it's
here.
something. I try,
Shama, Lama, Ding Dong.
Oh,
Now, what the hell does that
song,
mean?
Shama, lama, ding dong. That's what you do, my sugar dee-do. Those black boys are
Oh,
nice.
I can hear him. That's my Bryan. Hi, Bryan. It's your mom.
He can't hear you.
What?
Huh?
What's that?
What?
Bryan?
Huh?
Huh?
What's he saying?
Krissy, can you hear me?
What are you saying?
Bryan, can you hear me?
What am I saying?
Can you hear me, Bryan?
I don't understand.
Krissy, can you hear me?
Is that his wife?
Oh, no, honey. That's Krissy Dodley. You know her.
He married Christy?
No, my sweet dollop. She lives downtown.
Round. What is that, code for something?
No, downtown.
I still can't hear him. What's he saying?
I think he's talking about preachers.
Why would he be talking about teachers?
I said preachers.
I'll tell you something with these kids today. The IRL and the WTF and the LOL. It's like they have brain damage from those Xboxes.
Right.
They don't even know how to speak.
Oh.
When I was a kid, you had to write the whole Bible word for word in cursive 2 times for homework on a Tuesday night.
Bryan?
Oh.
Krissy,
now
can
the
you hear
kids
me?
call the police if you hurt their feelings.
Can you hear me, Bryan?
They all have soft spots in the brains.
Oh.
Mommies and daddies are more like friends with benefits.
What?
When I was this age, you used to stick a metal rod in the wall outlet and it was a science experiment. And if you died, well, that was learning. You learned or something.
Oh.
I will tell you a thing or two. Now we have the podcasts and the iTunes and the Bumbles. How are you supposed to meet a nice young lady you can marry if you can't even wipe your own ass without help? I swear to God. A Bumble should be called Mumble because that's all the language they speak.
Hi, Bryan. It's your
Mumbling all the
mom.
time. And don't get me started on politics. Half these idiots worship Castro, the other half worship a washed-up TV star.
Okay.
Wasn't even a good TV show.
Right.
At least we had Rock Hudson and Charleston Heston.
That's nice,
and now
dear.
we got the 2-bit con man, real estate mogul. I'll tell you, what's that? What is that? Real work?
Huh?
It's not real work. In my day, real men went to Normandy, not Nordstrom.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, reality
Krissy,
show
can you
anyway.
hear
What
me?
is this? How do you get a reality show? Not in my day. We
gonna
didn't
put
play
in some
reality star on
brownies.
Instagram model. We played cowboys and Indians.
Do you
In my
want
day, you were a
yours with
cowboy,
nuts
you
or
were
with
an Indian.
no
What
nuts?
happened? You either died as a cowboy or you died as an Indian.
Hi,
but you
Bryan,
were
it's your
now
mom.
on the Twitter shitter and the Insta pista.
Oh.
What's a tweet anyway? It sounds like a pooping pony. I'll tell you.
Huh?
Oh, I made a boo-boo. Okay, Vicky, help me out here.
Oops, you made a doodle.
What's that?
Okay, I'll help you clean it up.
Yeah, I pooped myself.
Hey, Irving, I'm going to call Bryan while you're going stinkies. I'm going to talk to him about the podcast.
Do me a favor. Tell him he's an idiot.
4, 3, 7, 2, 1, 6, 4, 3.
Hey, it's Bryan. Leave me a message. I will, I'll get back to you.
Hi, Bryan. It's your mom.
Vicky.
I just wanted you to know that we heard you on the podcast.
Vicky.
I clicked the hot links that you gave me, and there you were.
Let's go to
I
hot
listened
links.
at Irving's. I went up to Irving's, because they don't let us
else
out of
do
our
you
place
think
very
he
much.
thinks you
So,
got there?
I went up there to go listen with him, and we stayed,
where I
and we
live?
clicked the hot links, and there you were.
Oh,
Could you
my
hear
God,
me?
with the hot
Because I
links
could
and the
hear
phone.
you. Anyway, I was up at Irving's, and he said you did a great job.
He
And he
already
said he
said
liked
that.
it very much.
I
And he
never
said he
said
loved
that.
you and the baby and
I don't
Astrid.
love you. You're
and
an
then
idiot.
he said he wishes Hadley was his daughter.
Who the
and
hell
then he
is
said,
Hadley?
Bryan is so smart. He seems to
I
know
don't
all
think
about
you're
those
smart. You're an
preachers.
idiot.
He said, has Bryan ever been a preacher?
Now,
And
why
then he
in the
said,
world would I
Texas
think you
Jean,
were a preacher?
Jean
Oh,
from
my
Texas,
God, please,
she used
put
to
the
know a
bullet in my
preacher.
head. Always
So
on
I
the
called
phone,
Texas
the phone,
Jean,
the phone.
and she said that her son in California is on the podcast.
Who
She
told
said it's
you
called
that?
an email.
Oh,
so I
my
said,
God. An
hey,
email
maybe
is
we
not
should
a
all get to
podcast.
dinner
Get off the
for
phone,
after this
woman.
coronavirus is over. And you know what she said?
Coronavirus.
She said she loves you
Coronavirus.
very much, and she loves the baby, and she just wishes she could be with you guys all the time.
She
That's
never
what she
said those
said. And
words.
so then I went back to Irving's,
Oh,
and
my
then
God. You
Irving
didn't go
said,
back
you
to
know what
Irving's, you
about
never went to
Bryan?
Irving's.
He's
I'm
so
still here.
smart. You know
I'm
what
on
he
the
said?
toilet.
He said,
Get me,
I wish
Vicky,
Bryan
get
was
me.
my son. That's what he said. And then you know what he said?
Oh,
He said he
dear
wishes
Lord.
Matthias was his
I
grandson.
don't even
And then you
want
know what he said?
any
He
more
said he
children,
loves Astrid
grandchildren,
very
nothing.
much. Anyway,
I don't
Irving
even know
said he
who
really
Astrid
thinks the
is.
world of you. Anyway, I
Oh
want to
my
let
God,
you
I
know how
can't
much I
remember
like
a thing.
the podcast.
The
It's like a little
podcast.
radio
It's called a
show, only
podcast.
I
It's
don't
not
think
a
you can
radio
hear me. I
show.
was
Oh
yelling
my
your
God,
name.
with the
I think you're going to be
podcast
great at it.
and
Anyway, listen, call me, okay,
Don't
honey? I've
call
got some
me.
other
Don't
things
call
to tell
anymore.
you.
This-
I was
she's
talking to
always on the
Irving.
phone.
You know what
She's
he
talking
said?
24
He said
hours
he
a
loves
day
you
on the
very
phone.
much.
I
So
never said
remember
those
that,
words.
okay? All
Oh, my
right.
God.
Bye, Bryan.
Don't call.
In early 2020, the world shut down. Stores, restaurants, schools, and whole communities shut their doors in an effort to protect human life. As the world quickly changed, one man went on Facebook to get a degree in internet epidemiology. Bryan, along with his lab assistant Hotley, are curing coronavirus by commenting on fake news and reposting recipes of secret virus cures from a friend of a friend who works high up in government. Join Bryan and Hotley as they discuss the world and life during this forced interruption, learning, laughing, and loving in this real-life commercial break. On this episode of The Commercial Break.
Yeah, but I guess it's just the learning curve that we're going to go through.
I love it.
It's a brand new, spectacular podcast shooting up the charts. Which two episodes have most of the Khaleesi's boobs in them? Because those are the two episodes.
The first two.
The first two.
First
Okay,
three
good.
episodes, like, get it.
Hey, it's Bryan Green, host of The Commercial Break. Just want to drop a note before this particular podcast. In an effort to make sure that we do a weekly show, Krissy, Hotley, and I popped out a podcast real quick as I am traveling this week, and I'll be back at my home studio next week. So if the audio quality is not quite what you expect from us, I apologize. And we took a break from all the clips and fun facts to just go ahead and have a conversation about the things that we're watching during the coronavirus. Hope you enjoy. It's a shorter episode, but we'll be up to our usual shenanigans next week on The Commercial Break.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
So we'll just go with it. You know, we've done this now 5 weeks in a row, and
I know, it's
4 of
exciting.
those we've had to record.
Every time.
Yeah, but I guess it's just the learning curve that we're going to go through.
It's great.
It's
I
a
love
brand
it.
new, spectacular podcast shooting up the charts. Number 5,622 on the app.
I told all my girlfriends tonight from Nashville. I did a Zoom call with my girlfriends from Nashville earlier, and I was like, just listen for 5 minutes. I was like, that's all we need.
Yeah, that's all we need.
5 minutes.
We just need
I was
5
like,
minutes.
Test it out and see if you like it. But even if you don't, just listen to it for 5 minutes because that helps our rating. I was like, we're already pretty high in Canada.
In Canada, we're killing it. I don't
We're
even know how
killing
people
it
are
in
finding us
Canada.
in Canada. We don't know anybody in Canada, but for some reason on the Apple charts, we've been extraordinarily successful. Now, so that tells me one of two things. Either no one's fucking listening in Canada, like no one listens to podcasts in Canada, and one listen gets you all the way to the top of the charts, or we just, for some guy just found us. And I say guy because now we're, because if you look at our statistics, which are minuscule, by the way, you can't really tell much from it, but we do have a mainly male skewing audience, which does not surprise me whatsoever with my childish humor. But yeah, all we need your girlfriends to do is just game the system for us a little bit. You need to listen
what
for
I
60
said.
seconds, leave us a nice review.
I said 5 minutes. I
5
went
minutes.
ahead and went
Hey,
5
listen,
minutes.
that's
I was
even
like,
better.
Go 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That's what
that-
we need.
That's when the advertisers really start coming. The advertisers want to get at our 3 listeners. We can tell them you got to put it in the first 5 minutes because that's when our core audience is listening for the first 5 minutes.
I was like, we do a really funny skit. There's funny skits going on. I'm Marissa.
So I'm still in Amelia Island. Yeah, I'm at my condo.
Oh, nice, nice. Good for you.
But what would I know? It's been really nice. It's been nice to
the
take a break.
beach.
The beach. The beaches are open. It's been wonderful. I have to say this about Florida. I'm down here in Florida. It's not. People are not particularly keen on social distancing or masks down here, and I don't know why that is. Yeah, hey, listen, I guess it's over. I guess coronavirus is over and we can all get back to what we were doing. We can all get back to what we were doing before.
Yeah, no, states are reopened. It's cool.
Yeah,
to just do your thing. Nightclubs are still closed,
well,
thank God.
Thank God. There's some fucking common sense out there. The nightclubs are still closed.
Nightclubs.
Can you imagine?
And live venues.
Can you imagine? You have the nightclubs are open in the middle of a pandemic. That's a real great way.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's how Kemp stopped the nightclubs from being open was because South Korea had a huge outbreak
because of nightclubs.
After they just had nightclubs.
Now they're having
yes, it just happened. Wow. They're having a resurgence, and it was because of a nightclub.
Yeah, and South Korea was one of those places where I thought, man, they really kind of kicked that thing in the balls. Yeah, in Spain, they went to level 1, phase 1, whatever it was, and then they went back to phase 0 3 days later because 4,000 additional people came out of the woodwork with coronavirus. It's just not safe to be out there. And my wife and I were saying, we're here and we can walk to the beach and it's fine. There's plenty of space where we are. But the pools are open here, and the pools are absolute madhouses. It's like chair to chair, people to people. People are all over each other, and we're like, you know what? F that. Now, listen, I will say this. It's nice to have a break and, see the ocean instead of seeing my backyard. But it's still the same thing. We're just down here.
It's a petri dish.
It is a peach-tree dish. It's like... it's like a
petri.
I
said petri, but you said peach tree.
A peach tree. It's a peach tree dish. It's a peach tree tree.
It's a peach tree.
So we come down here, and one of the things that I like to do, we've done since I've met Astrid, is we travel a whole lot. When we travel by car, we just get up early and we knock it out. Usually we live in Atlanta, so usually you want to get up super fucking early so you can get out of everybody's goddamn way. The traffic is so horrible in that town.
That means getting up at 3.
That means getting up at 3. That's right. That's what my dad used to do. That's what a true man does. A man packs the car, he gets his groggy wife out of bed and gets the kids, throws them in the back and says, you know what, you shut up for the next 6 hours while I drive and listen to more podcasts.
Yes.
And so that's what we did. We got up at 3 a.m, and then we drove down here. There were roadblocks in some places to get into Florida, but I didn't happen to go through one of those roadblocks.
You busted through it.
I busted through it. I take the back roads. I got the super steep. I drive this way down to where I am. I don't want to give away too much information, but I drive this way down to where I am. Holy, I swear to fucking Christ, there is not a soul around for about 220 miles. We are in the middle of the cornfields of South Georgia. If anything happened to us, we would never be found. It's like driving in the middle of the desert. It's incredible. I love it. My wife hates it. She's scared that we're going to get stuck somewhere and no one's going to be able to find us.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword, because you have the nice. We're isolated, and then you have the children of the corn.
Children of the corn is what I think of.
And then you have the scariness of it, which I love both of those.
Me too. So, I'm a big fan. And you know what? I do it in the middle of the night too. Like when we drive back, I do it in the middle of the night. I don't mind being in the pitch black in the middle of nowhere. It's me and the raccoons, baby. Me and the raccoons. Ever since I got children, though. Malachi. What a fucking creepy movie that was. Remember when we were kids? And
it's so creepy, but I love it.
Children of the Corn was the movie that the title of the movie that you said just to scare the shit out of other people. You know what I did last night? I watched Children of the Corn. Children of the Corn. I've never even seen it, and it's scary. It's got such a scary title.
I am a big scary movie fan. I like Saw.
Oh,
I like Saw.
No,
I like Children of the Corn. I like all those. I like The Shining.
The Shining, I can't. The Shining, I can deal with.
The bloody ones. No. The bloody ones. No. Yeah, that's slasher horror. But the psychological ones, where you're in a cornfield, and you might get taken.
Yeah, it's too scary for me. I can't do it. When I was a kid, I loved it. Friday the 13th, all that other shit. I loved it.
I don't want to be in a cornfield and be.
As an adult, it just turns me off. Like the scary movies just turn me off, and I don't know why. I'm not particularly scared of them. I just don't want those that imagery in my. I'd much rather have a dark psychological thriller than an actual scary movie. Yeah. But
no, I like the dark psychological.
Yeah, those are good. That's all I got on Netflix now. My whole Netflix is basically depressing murder mystery shows from
I like
Norway.
A good Agatha Christie too. Don't get me wrong, or Poirot.
Oh, yeah.
Poirot.
Hey, you know what I'm into? I'm into all. I don't want to actually watch a show on Netflix unless there's a British accent involved in that show now. And Netflix seems to know this, and they've taken me further and further away. I'm now in Germany, and so I'm reading subtitles in all my murder mysteries. I'm in Germany. Half of my shit is from Norway, Germany, Italy. I'm just down that rabbit hole with Netflix. They now have me. They got me pegged, and they know what I like.
We're down there. We're down that way too. Now, I do have to say that Inspector Poirot is very good. Inspector Poirot is very good. That's on PBS.
Oh, is it? Well, PBS every once in a while comes up with a good one, huh?
Yeah, and they have. I'm pretty sure that they're the ones that have the.
At Downtown Abbey?
Well, they do have the Downtown Abbey, and I love that. Not downtown.
That, yeah. Is it Downtown Abbey? Downtown Abbey.
It's Downton. That's Downton.
Oh, it's not downtown?
No, it's
I've been
Downton.
saying it wrong all these years. What the fuck is a Downton?
Yes, you have.
What's a Downton?
It's a Downton. It's the name of the city.
Well, isn't it like downtown and downtown like the same thing? I would think, right?
I think Downton is the name of the house
or
something like that.
Anyways, the estate, Downton.
I love the Downton Abbey, not downtown, but Downton Abbey. And then also too, it's Inspector
Clouseau.
Clouseau is good too, but it's the Cumberbatch.
Oh, that's Benedict Cumberbatch is in the Sherlock Holmes in Holmes. Sherlock. That's right, Sherlock. That is a good show.
That is fantastic.
It is a really good show.
It's fantastic.
He is so good in that. You know what show I just finished watching?
It's like 4 seasons.
I know.
And I love it.
I've watched one. I'm going to get back to it eventually after I get through this German, psychological murder mystery that I'm watching now. And now I have so I've figured out that Netflix a lot of times they'll overdub the shows that are in a different language. They'll overdub them in English and all kind of languages, right? So now I'm just lazy. I don't want to read the subtitles, so I just overdub it in English, and it's the worst act. You see how great the actors are portraying these, and it's the worst. It's like, the guy finds a dead body in German acting in a beautiful way. He's like, I can't believe this is the 5th murder this week. And then the American voice comes in and it's like, can't believe 5 people have been murdered. That was my husband. That was my husband. It's like the translation is awful. I wish that these voice actors would do a better job. I just wish they would. But you know what? I'm too lazy to fucking read the subtitles, so whatever. It's my fault anyway. You know what show I got back to that I had put down for a minute, but I got back to over the last couple of days when I'm down here in the on the island, is The Crown, which I think is an incredible show. And I know I'm going to sound like a big vagina for saying that, but you know what? I'm a 2020 kind of guy. I'm sensitive. I have my feelings.
You are.
And I think The Crown is such a good show. I think that these two ladies that portrayed this queen are really doing a fantastic job. And I'm just wondering if I didn't sound like a vagina 5 seconds ago, now I sound like a vagina.
I love that you love that show.
Thank you.
And I absolutely want to get into that show, but I have watched it a couple times, and it seems like a task. It's one of those things like if you hadn't watched Game of Thrones.
Oh my God. Can't do it.
I mean, it's one of those.
Can't get into the Game of Thrones.
It took me, what? You never got into Game of Thrones?
I watched, I was dating a girl. You know who I'm talking about. Not going to name names, but I was dating a girl. And we went to some dude's house for a Game of Thrones watching party. And they were going to watch the first season in a night, right? So they started at 7. And I guess it was going to go 6 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah, 10 hours.
Yeah, for 10 hours. And, this woman that I was dating, it lasted about 15 and a half minutes before someone was throwing a beer bottle at the other one's head. And so I was like,
yeah,
it just left a bad taste in my mouth. But I liked the first 15 minutes. But then I went back and tried to watch some of the other episodes. I'm just not into that kind of shit. I'm just not into the Dungeons and Dragons bullshit. You think so?
No, you are. You are.
Maybe I have to go back.
Give it
maybe I have to go back.
You have to give it 2 episodes. If you give it 2 full uninterrupted,
do they have to be back-to-back episodes?
And you say, you got to go back to back. No, it's a full comprehensive series.
I mean,
so if you I just need you to give me 2 episodes.
I'll give you 2 episodes before next time we talk.
Uninterrupted.
I'll do it.
And
which two
then
episodes
if you
have
hate
most
them,
of the Khaleesi's boobs in them? Because those are the two episodes.
the first two.
Okay,
The
good.
first 3 episodes, like, get it. They hook you. And
They hook you with the Khaleesi's boobs?
I mean, she gets naked throughout the whole
No,
thing.
remember she stopped getting naked for a while. I remember reading this on the news. She was like, she was upset
haven't
that she
watched
was so naked. That's true. I haven't watched it, but someone told me that she stopped getting naked there for a while because she was protesting that there's so much of her boobs occupied the screen.
It doesn't matter. There are other
Good.
boobs
Okay,
involved.
as long as there are other boobs involved, then I'm in.
There's other boobs. There's other boobs. There's other muscles.
Are there penises?
people.
Do they show penises in Game of Thrones?
There's butts for
Okay,
sure.
but no dicks.
No, I think there's.
Oh, good. I think that it's only fair that if they're going to show plenty of boobs, they show plenty of dicks.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
No, it's a comprehensive series.
Okay.
And
I'm going to watch 2 uninterrupted episodes.
please just
for you.
do 2 uninterrupted. Just watch them and then tell me I don't like it. I'm moving on to Agatha Christie,
Agatha Christie's.
and then I'll. Or whatever you would like to move on to, The Office.
Okay,
Whatever,
listen,
whatever
we
you'd
can all-
like to move on.
we all
Just
agree.
give me 2.
All right.
Just give me
Okay,
2.
okay. So, in your quarantine, top 3 television shows that are not Tiger King. Top 3 television shows that are not Tiger King. What are you watching the last few months?
Hold on. Let me look at my.
Okay, I'm going to give you number 1. We'll go back and forth. So I'm going to give you number 3 television show that I've watched in the quarantine that I've really enjoyed. I'm watching this show on Netflix called Cage. It's about a Australian. It's set in Australia. It's about an Australian defense attorney who's a cocaine addict, who's high on cocaine and booze and sleeps with strippers every episode. And it is just brilliantly hilarious. But he also happens to be like the world's smartest man. Like, not only is he a cokehead with lots of booze on every case, but then he also happens to be the world's smartest man. And the comedy is fucking biting. I think it's called Cage. I hope it's called Cage. I hope I'm not like giving you wrong information here. Let me go back to my Netflix, just like you're going back to your Netflix. Look at us.
Well, hold on. Well, first of all, too, one thing that I've been really down with in this quarantine is Westworld.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
We
Like
love Westworld.
Like Westworld a lot.
That just ended, but it's
Don't
so
give it away because I
good.
haven't watched the last 2 episodes. But
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying it's really
it's
good.
so good. Rake is actually the name, not Caged. I'm glad I went back and saw it. It's called Rake. It's an Australian television show. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is a throwaway episode as we're going back to our Netflix here.
Yes. Yeah. Another one. Jeff and I just watched Have a Good Trip last night on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a good trip, like a road trip.
John Oliver. I can't help it.
He's so good. John Oliver is so good at what he does.
Spot
Yeah, he's spot on. I haven't caught the last 5 or 6 episodes. I kind of catch some of them. Like I catch them on YouTube. Let me ask you a question. On HBO, have you watched the show My Brilliant Friend?
No.
You haven't watched My Brilliant Friend? Okay,
No,
it's
I
in
haven't.
Italian. It's all subtitles again. Here we go with this fucking subtitle. I'm recommending a
Well, that's
homework.
probably why I haven't
Yeah, I'm
watched
recommending
it.
homework, not a television show.
Okay, so you're watching Game of Thrones and I'm watching
Rake.
the Italian.
Yes, you have to watch My Brilliant Friend.
Rake.
Or My Brilliant Friend. My Brilliant Friend is fucking brilliant. And then HBO throws me a double punch. They end My Brilliant Friend, and then they start with this Vincent D'Onofrio show about the 2 twins. Have you seen this one? I know this much is true. First episode came out this week, and it is super fantastic. It's about 2 twins. One's a schizophrenic, and the other is like a house painter.
Oh, I did
it's
see
so-
that. I didn't
so
see
well
it,
acted.
but I saw that it was out.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is so good at what he does. He is certainly an actor of our generation that is just like a cut above the rest. And I think he's...
Have you seen Dead to Me?
I love Dead to Me. We are on the first episode of the 2nd season. I loved it.
Oh, I haven't started the 2nd season
Won't
yet.
give away a thing, but the first season of Dead to Me was so
It was
funny
really good.
and so fantastic.
It was good.
And I'm hoping that the second
dark.
season lives up to it. Yeah, it was very dark. Like, you kind of get the impression that this Christina Applegate show with this other girl who I'm not sure what her name is, but you've seen her in other things. You kind of got the impression by the trailer that this was going to be like some lighthearted comedy. It's actually not. It's very good and it's very dark. What is that? I can't see.
Okay, so it's called Rust Valley Restorers.
Rust Valley Restorers. Is that like Pimp My Ride?
And it is really good.
Is it really?
Jeff and I found it one night, and Jeff was like, I really love this show. I'm going to keep watching it. And I know that's a good sign when I've hit upon something, because a lot of times I like to do a shotgun approach where I'm just like, I don't know, let's try this, let's try that. But this guy is freaking hilarious. He does his different, he has like a whole junkyard,
okay,
but not junkyard, but it's full of old cars, and they have like grass growing through them and that kind of thing. And people come over and they're like, oh yeah, we like this car, we want to buy it. And he's like, well, dude, he's got dreads. He looks like D, and like D, that guy from like Van Halen, or what's that guy D?
Who? Has the guy from Van Halen?
Well, I mean,
I don't remember a guy
like
from Van Halen.
Blonde dreads.
Long dreads. Is he? You mean talking about the guy from Guns N' Roses?
No.
I don't remember the guy from Van Halen. His
name's D. No, he's from Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister, D. Snyder. D. Snyder never had dreads. When did D. Snyder have dreads?
He had semi-dreads.
Okay, he had semi-dreads, but that's because he didn't wash his fucking hair. He's
okay.
dirty.
Well, that's what this guy looks like.
Okay. So. He looks like D. Snyder, and he's restoring cars.
He looks like D. Snyder,
okay.
and he's restoring cars.
I'm watching it. Have you seen... Okay, so my number 2 show for the quarantine that I think you need to watch is a show on Netflix called Schitt's Creek. Have you seen Schitt's Creek?
I have seen Schitt's Creek, and I love it.
Schitt's Creek is too funny.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the full thing, but I've seen seasons 1 through 2.
Yeah, I'm only on season 2 anyway, so you're not too far before me. You know what I tried to get into? I tried to get into Black Mirror. Only I found it extraordinarily depressing. I watched like 5 episodes.
No, it's very depressing, especially right now. But no, Jeff and I've watched it every season that it's come out, and it's so good. I mean, there's like it's very close to reality of what could happen.
Yeah, no, I think it's spot on in some cases. I got to like...
It's very close to reality of what could happen. There's this one episode, there's a couple episodes that come to mind right now. So... one of them is when they have this one episode where social media dictates a ranking, or like, say 100 out of 0, whatever.
Okay.
So you get like a 70 if you get your social media profile up to this point.
Wow.
And then if you get it up to another point,
isn't this what China
80.
Does?
And then,
yeah, China does this. They give you like a citizen rating.
So it's really creepy because I think it could happen. And it's like how many stars you get and how many ratings you get and that kind of thing. There's another episode on that's really freaking cool, and it's virtual reality. And it's these 2 lesbian lovers, and they are grandmas. They're like older women.
Okay.
And they're sitting at the end of the episode, of spoiler alert, but at the end of the episode, they're sitting in a chair, and they've been virtual reality their
whole world is like a virtual
together.
Reality existence.
And that can happen.
Hey, listen, the nightmare episode for me on Black Mirror was the one where they all had the recorders in their eyeball. I don't know if you remember this one. So they were all recording everything at any time, and they could exchange memories with each other, and they could exchange where they were and what they were doing. And the guy was, he felt like his wife was cheating on him, and he went over to the other guy's house, and he's like, give me your eyeball or give me your memories. I want your memories.
Yeah.
It's happening, Hoadley. It's all happening. Black Mirror, actually.
No, it's...
The creator of
good.
Black Mirror said that I will not create any additional episodes during the coronavirus.
Because it's too dark.
Yeah, it's too dark.
It's too
just want to add to all of our fucking misery.
I respect that.
show I'm going back and watching, and I'm going to call my number one show of the quarantine just because I think it's most relatable. There's other ones that are like German and no one's going to fucking watch them, but the other one that I think is most relatable, easily accessible on Netflix, and everyone can get into is Bloodline season.
I love Bloodline.
So fucking good.
I love
so
Bloodline.
good.
I loved it. We loved it.
The guy from Friday Night Lights takes a turn for the worst, for the evil.
He does. And do you know this fun fact? The guy that plays the brother,
I do know this guy.
Yeah, is also in another show, and that's an HBO show that does
the Stephen King one.
Show.
Yeah, the Stephen King show.
Yes.
Yep, it was just on, right?
And he's like Australian.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's an Australian actor, and you would never know it because his fucking American accent is so incredibly awesome.
They can do those so
I
well.
know. I mean, listen, I can hold an accent. Like if I'm doing a bit or some kind of funny voice, I can hold an accent for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if I practice. But holding it an entire television show is an incredible skill to me. And the guy who plays Danny, the brother in Bloodline,
that's Danny.
He should have won every award under the sun for that first season, because that first season is like walking through fucking thriller soup. It's incredible.
So good.
You're hanging on every word.
Bloodline is so good. Jeff and I were like, oh my God, this is the best show. We love it.
I know.
It's so dark. But then probably like second or third, season, we were like, oh my God, this is really dark.
Yeah, it really took a twist for the worst.
It kind or twerk.
A twerk for the worst. What? Get your ear in the butt. What? Get your butt in the air. What? Who's that girl who's always twerting and tweeping, twirling? What's her name?
Cardi
B. That girl like a stripper in Atlanta, and now she's like a billionaire.
Yep.
So man, so you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but also too, there was something else I was going to say about that.
What about Bloodline?
And then the guy that was doing the other show that was on HBO. And
yeah, he was. No, I didn't like that show that much. I didn't.
So I listened. Oh, I thought it was very good at the very end.
The Stephen King.
It took a little while. What was it called?
I can't remember, but it was just on. It was just on like a month ago. It just ended like a month ago.
No, it was just there. Yeah.
I liked it.
I'm a big Stephen King fan. Stephen King recently was like, I'm sorry that the world seems like it's one of my novels.
Some of these thriller writers. This is another thing that really gets me is like in this pandemic, people are pointing out that Anthony Fauci said like 5 years ago that there's going to be a pandemic that catches the world off guard and that we're all in a shitload of trouble. Basically, he predicted this, right? And people are like, how could he predict it unless he was planning it? And it's like, if you're an epidemiologist and that's what you do for a living and you understand how dangerous uncaged new viruses are to the human body, you're not predicting anything. You know it's coming. It's a fact. It's like being a meteorologist. You know rain's coming. You just don't know when until it's on the radar screen. And that's it. So you don't call a meteorologist a fucking... He didn't plan rain because 7 days ago he didn't know. He said rain was coming and he didn't know when. It's just a fucking ridiculous thing. And, okay, so I have to say this about honorable mentions for my Netflix watching right now. And that is The West Wing is on Netflix. And I fucking love that show.
Good.
I watch it over and over again. I'm constantly watching the West Wing, and I know that it has nothing. The real politics has nothing like the West Wing. So don't fucking write me a letter talking about how West Wing is a bunch of fucking Democrats and how they think the world should be.
Rob Lowe is
a badass in that television show. But the best in that television show is the guy who plays Secretary of State. And he is, I mean, excuse me, not Secretary of State. Not Secretary of State. What's his name? The guy, the Chief of Staff, Secretary of State. The Chief of Staff, Secretary of State.
Well, I mean, there's Martin Sheen who plays the president.
But then there's...
And I love Allison Janney.
Oh, my God, she's so good in that television show.
She's in so many things, too.
I wish they would bring the West Wing back.
I would never even think about that she would be in. She's like in this brownie troop meeting Netflix thing.
She's in a brownie troop meeting Netflix television show?
She is.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to check that out.
Everything. She's in everything.
I love anything Allison Janney does. I love anything any cast member from The West Wing has done in the future is awesome. And Rob Lowe is great in that. You know, Rob Lowe left that television show, little fun fact, because when it was originally pitched to him by Aaron Sorkin, who wrote the first 4 seasons of the West Wing, which is why those 4 seasons are so good. When he pitched this to Rob Lowe, he said, you are going to be the main character. And Martin Sheen was actually only supposed to be a reoccurring cameo. He was only going to be every couple of episodes for just a couple of lines. That's it. But when he came in to read for the president, he started ad-libbing a couple lines. In the first pilot episode, he was going to be in a couple of scenes. And Aaron Sorkin was like, nope, this is going to be an ensemble piece, and everyone's really gonna put it to it. So The West Wing, check her out.
Well, you know what? Recently, I've really gotten into Frankie, and not Frankie and Johnny, but it's Frankie and
we don't even know the names of the television shows we're talking about. I know. For all you listeners, if you can't tell, this is just a throwaway episode. We're just trying to get one in there.
Jane Fonda,
Frankie
and
Frankie and Valley.
Lily Tomlin. Yeah. Frankie and Valley.
I know what you're talking about. It's Frankie and Jomi or something like that. But Frankie and Me? No, not Frankie.
Frankie and Johnny. Or something. It's Frankie and Me and Johnny.
Oh, my God. Oh, totally. This is too funny.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Frankie and Grace.
Frankie and Grace. There you go. I was
Grace and Frankie. Grace and Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie and Grace. Grace and Frankie. Great.
It's a really good show. And so Martin Sheen, though, who played the president of the United States, I totally respect for going on and playing a gay man.
He plays a gay man on that television show?
Yes, and it's fantastic.
Good for him.
It's fantastic.
I love it. Well, listen, I am so glad that you are doing well after the coronavirus. I mean, during the coronavirus lockdown. I know times are tough for you, especially. I wanted you to know that I love you, and we'll get through this.
I love you.
One step at a time. I fear we're probably going to go backwards before we go forward because
I'm going to get paler as we keep talking.
Yeah, go to the tanning bed. They're open.
No. The light will kill it.
The light will kill it. That's right. Apparently everybody in Florida thinks that because they're all hanging out near the pool and on the beaches. And I'm worried for us because it doesn't seem like many people it doesn't seem like the people that are outside their homes are taking this seriously. And I know there's a good bit of people that are taking this very seriously. But my advice to people would be find a way that you can do your job and you can make a living. Be safe, wear your mask, and avoid social gatherings.
By the way, we're not making a living by doing this podcast, so any tips?
Yeah, any tips or tricks or advertisers that might want to advertise on two shitheads, two idiots out here doing a podcast. Hey, listen, we've done 5. I thought 4 were really good.
Number 35 in Canada.
Number 35 in Canada. Thanks, Canada. And just as a reminder, we have a new website, tcbpodcast.com, tcbpodcast.com. You can find all of your favorite episodes of all your favorite television.
There's a really good picture of me on there.
Yeah, go look at Hoadley. She's really cute. You'll like that. We need to even more creepy things to talk about. Leave us a message if you like us. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite place to find podcasts. We just are now on overcast.fm. In case you want to jump over there, you can subscribe there.
Just in case you want to jump into our next episode and give us some, feedback on the things, the homework that Bryan and I have given each other.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got the Game of Thrones.
I'm doing 2 uninterrupted episodes, 2 back-to-back episodes of Game of Thrones, preferably, episode 1 and 2. Yes. And you are going to go back and watch what?
I don't know.
Okay.
What did you say?
Well, I said you had 2 choices. You could watch Rake, the Australian comedy about the prosecutor. You could watch that. Or what was the other thing that I said that you could watch? I can't even remember now.
Forensic Files 2.
Forensic Files 2. That's a load of horse shit I will not be watching. Yeah. my mom watches. It makes her fucking Looney Tune. And my mom watches television at like volume 37. So when you call, all you can hear is the television. You can hear Judge Judy, Dr. Phil, or Forensic Files in the background. One of those fucking three things. That's why she's deaf and she's screaming at her boyfriend constantly. TCBpodcast.com. Subscribe on Apple or Spotify. Do us a favor. Leave us a review if you like us. And if you don't, save your, like your mother said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all. Once we get to 500 listens on one episode, we will do a live episode. And actually, we're not too far off. I would say we're getting about halfway there. So thanks, Holdy. I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Email us at thecommercialb@gmail.com. Find us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Commercial Break. New episodes drop every Wednesday. We can be found on Spotify, iHeartMedia, Apple, Google, and all major podcast providers. The Commercial Break is a great middleweight production. Written and produced by Brian Green. Co-hosted by Krissy Hoadley.